An important part of finding your purpose is exploring different activities and ideas. Doing this helps you define your values, connect with others, and discover your passions, all of which play key roles in uncovering your life purpose. My name is Sarah Woodard. I am the founder of Spark Consciousness, and I am here to help people just like you find their purpose through connection with nature. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 50 ways to save the planet. And in doing these 50 things, you will explore and find your purpose through connection with nature. I'm going to put them into some handy categories for you. I suggest you try to do at least one from each category and then build, change, combine, and hone in on the things you really love from there. You definitely do not need to do all 50. No one can do everything, but everyone can do something, and it all adds up. So first, let's talk about some lifestyle changes that you could consider making. Reducing your energy consumption, and this can be done by turning off lights when you leave a room, using LED bulbs, and weatherizing your home. You could try to drive less. If possible, you can walk, bike, or take public transportation. And if you have to drive, you can try to carpool or use ride-sharing services. Sometimes this is also cheaper than buying gas, especially with how expensive gas currently is. You could go vegan, or at least eat less meat. Meat production is a major contributor to climate change. And so by eating less meat, you can help reduce your impact on the environment. You can try to recycle and compost. Both help reduce the waste that goes into landfills. If you're going to compost, try starting a worm bin. I know that sounds a little crazy, but worm bins are actually a great way to compost your food scraps and yard waste because worms break down the organic matter and turn it into really nutrient-rich compost that you can later use to fertilize your plants. Use less water. So this can be done by taking shorter showers, fixing leaks, and turning off the faucet when you brush your teeth, as well as watering your lawn less often or just simply replacing your lawn, which we're going to talk about in a few more. You can buy local sustainable products. And when you do that, you're supporting businesses that are committed to protecting the environment as well as supporting your community, which is always a good thing to do. You can avoid using single-use plastics. This includes stuff like plastic bags, straws, water bottles. The thing is plastics, they can't be recycled the same way that other things can. And so far too much winds up in the oceans and damaging critical habitats. You can choose sustainable fashion, sometimes called slow fashion. Buy clothes that are made from sustainable materials and produced in an ethical way. The Fair Trade certification is one way to do this, but there are others. Reduce your food waste, which can be composting, but it can also mean making less so that you don't have as much left over or any at the end of a meal. You can adopt a pet from a shelter. And you're thinking, what does that have to do with climate change? Well, far too many shelters in this country are what's known as kill shelters, meaning they will kill animals for lack of space or other resources and for no other reason. And so when you adopt from a shelter, you're preventing them from being euthanized, meaning you're saving on all of those chemicals and you're saving from that being put in the ground and a dead animal that could otherwise be alive being put in the ground for no reason. It's also therefore a much more compassionate choice. You can plant natives instead of a lawn. You can bring your own reusable bags when you go to the grocery store. And in some states, this is the law, or you get charged for each bag. You can use natural pest control methods instead of chemicals. And you can be a role model. Changes you make in your own life, people see that, and it may inspire them to make similar changes. The next category is going to be community involvement. So you can volunteer for a local environmental organization or a school, anywhere that you can kind of spread the word about helping protect the planet or actually do something active that helps protect the planet. You can get involved in politics. Vote for candidates who support environmental protections or run for office yourself. Start small if you're going to do that. Start with local and work your way up. You can write to your elected officials about environmental issues that are important to you. This is a great way to make your voice heard and to influence policy decisions. And if you like writing, you can also write letters to the editor. This can be a really effective way to share your opinions with your community and to raise awareness. You can support environmental education. teaching your children about how to protect the planet, or volunteer at a local environmental education center or other school activity. You could start a community garden. This is a great way to get to know your neighbors and also to learn how to grow your own food. You could host a potluck dinner. This is a great way to reduce food waste and also, again, to connect with your community. Adopt a highway or a park area. You've probably seen those signs. This section of road is, adopted by whatever. Adopting those areas usually means that you and a group you've put together are responsible for keeping that place clean and free of litter. So it's a great way to contribute to your community while helping to save the planet. And you could become a citizen scientist. So citizen scientists are people who contribute to scientific research but have no formal scientific background. Some examples of this would be helping to do bird counts, water quality testing, or wildlife surveys. Next category is vote with your dollar. Our dollars, we may think, I'm only spending $5 on this, who cares? But every person who spends $5 on that thing, it sends the company a message. People are happy with what we're doing, so we're not going to do anything different. If you start to not spend that $5 and you spend it, maybe you spend $7 with a company who's doing it a way you agree with, that also sends a message. As consumers, we have a lot of power. So some ways to vote with your dollar. You can support renewable energy sources, support businesses that are committed to sustainability, drive a fuel-efficient car, buy used products whenever possible. You can try to repair things instead of replacing them. If you have a repair person local, that's great, but sometimes YouTube is great for figuring out how to do it yourself. You can donate unwanted items to charitable causes. You can buy in bulk to reduce packaging waste, assuming you have space to store it, of course. You can shop at thrift stores and consignment shops, choose eco-friendly cleaning products, buy recycled paper products. You can also donate to environmental causes. This is another great way of sending that literal dollar message. This is what I support. Another way to do that is how you invest. Invest in sustainable products and services instead of just whatever stocks your mutual fund puts you in. You could also start a business that helps to solve an environmental problem. Or you could, if you're science-minded, or just good at this sort of thing, you can invent a product or a technology that helps to protect the environment. You could adopt a tree, and I will put a link down in the comments for you on how to do that. And you could also adopt wildlife. And again, check those little comments down there for a link on how to do that. Both of those, again, are a very, very direct way of saying my dollars support this thing. Next category is about expanding your knowledge. This is really important because there used to be back in, the 80s, probably sometime before your time, PSAs on TV called The More You Know. I don't know if those are still out or not. But basically the point of that is the more you know, things you'll do. You'll change what you do because of what you know. And there's various quotes about that out in the world and whatever else. But that's basically the point. So if you educate yourself and others, you'll be more excited about protecting it and you may come up with different ideas about how to protect the planet. You can learn about regenerative agriculture. So this, in a nutshell, is a farming method that focuses on improving the health of the soil and the environment. It was basically how farming was done before Big Ag as we know it today got involved. You can learn about vertical farming. This is really cool. As you might guess from the name, it's actually a method of growing crops vertically, stacked in layers, and it can be done inside or outside, and it uses a lot less land and water than traditional farming methods. You can also learn about what a circular economy is and how to create one. Basically, it's an economic model that aims to eliminate waste and pollution as much as possible. And you can learn about permaculture. Basically, it's a system of design that mimics patterns found in nature. And you can use it to create sustainable and self-sufficient communities, or just make your own home more sustainable and self-sufficient. And the last category is get creative. We all have that innate creativity, and it's expressed in different ways. So some ideas for how to get creative. Start a blog or a podcast. Create art or music that celebrates the natural world. create a nature journal. And if that whole journaling thing kind of has your ears going, check down in those comments for a link to my free journaling challenge. You could write books or poetry that celebrate nature, or you could design a native plant garden or planter for your home. So each of these ways of being environmentally friendly is also going to help you discover your purpose, because you'll be expanding your knowledge, connecting with your community, and exploring all these things. And you never know what's going to make you go, oh, wow, this is amazing. I didn't know about this, and I want to know more, and I think this is what I want to do with my life. So follow them, get excited about them, and just keep going and see where it takes you. If you liked these and you want to keep going, continue your progress by securing a spot in my online class. And again, there's a link down in those comments for you. I will see you next time.